just want to talk to you, Luke. Obviously, we said this earlier. Since 2013, you've been in Milan, and you've been with the Milano Seamen since 2017, if I'm
Yep.
not mistaken. So that makes it for almost 5 years now. So what we want to know is, what is it about, that Milano Seamen organization, as well as the city or the people that are involved? Like, what is it about that has made that your home now, has embraced you and changed you into that, I'm from Italy, living in Italy, so to say.
No, definitely. I think that the whole Milano organization, from top to bottom, starting with President Marco Mutti, like they really embraced me, welcomed me into the city, and like I would say that this organization, I'm not dissing or downplaying any other organization I played for. Everyone has welcomed me as part of the family, but there was just some sort of click here in Milan that really they welcomed me with open arms, and like I said, I've been here since 2017. Obviously, winning helps. I mean, everyone loves to win, but from like a staff point, from all like the trainers, doctors, just people part of like the society they call it here, and like all like the players, like they really just like it's like one big family, and like it really makes me feel at home. And um, in 2019, I found like a full-time job here in Milan, so that also gave me a little bit of like a motivation just to stay and continue to be here and find myself here, like as opposed to just playing football. Like on the off season, I have my job to work, and obviously I have my girlfriend now since almost 3 years now. So that's also another factor. Like staying here with her as opposed to going back home for 6 months and not seeing her for 6 months, is a big thing for me. And obviously the city of Milan's awesome. I mean, coming from New York, I'm not saying I'm coming from like the city, but having the access of being to New York City, like yeah,
Tri-State.
Yeah, having New York City like a 30-minute drive from where I live, like you have like the big city life, and I feel like Milan is like an international city where like people from all over come to live in Milan, and it's like it's just like a very like international city, and I feel like it's a nice home to have, second home for sure. I'm more of a city person as opposed to playing like in one of those cities where it's like a small like farmland countryside where there's not really much going on. I prefer to be in the city, and like
All of Finland.
If I want,
all of Finland,
if I want something to do, I can always just go out, walk around, get a coffee at the bar. It's nice to be able to do that. Have the ability to do that here. Obviously, with the situation now, it's a little different, but yeah.
Yeah, now I'm obviously being from Jersey, close to New York City. Love playing in the city. I guess when I played in Cologne.
Hold on. Jersey, like New Jersey.
Jersey, yeah.
That's not New York. I watched the TV show. That's not New York.
No. Listen,
Jersey is like the suburbs, right? That's what I've been told.
We were right across from the Hudson, so
people who know, like, that's not the same thing as being in the Hudson.
I mean, we got Newark, but anyway,
if you're not from Long Island, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, you'd think it's all the same thing, but it's really not. New York and New Jersey is not the same.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
from Long Island.
People
say, "Oh, so you're from New Jersey?" Yeah, because it's Jersey Shore, and like everything, everyone wants to refer to that.
Yeah. I mean, we're part of the Tri-State. We just adopted.
I don't want to hear that.
But anyway,
you're from Jersey. You're not from New York. You're from Jersey.
But anyway, Luke, when I met you in Prague, obviously that was
5 years ago.
Yeah, 2017, something like that. Yeah.
16,
Was the plan always to get back to Italy? Was the plan to get to Italy, or was you just, at the time looking for your next spot?
Kind of looking for my next spot, and then playing with the national team. I had the privilege of originally playing with the national team tackle, and then I got asked to play with the flag football national team, I was like, all right, like playing more football. I love to play football. I never played flag football in my life, but it's another experience to go and travel the world and continue to play football. And then there I met the physical therapist for the Seamen was the physical therapist for the national team for flag. So I met him, and he like, "Oh, you have interest in playing for Milan?" And I was like, "I know Milan's a good, It was, I think they won the past 2 of the 3 championships, in 2014 and 15, and they lost in 16. But I was like, I never really thought about it, but I definitely am interested to hear more. And then I started, got in contact with Paolo Muti and Marco Muti, the 2 Muti brothers who are the president, and his brother was an old coach. And yeah, from there, things started to make their way together, and then I just
Yeah.
came here in 2017, played here, and then like playing with the national team made me want to continue to play in Italy because I always said I wanted to take my talents as far as my talents could take me, and obviously had the privilege of playing in Prague, in the Austrian league, which was probably one of the better leagues in Europe for sure. And I always said I wanted to go back to Germany and play, but then if I went to Germany, I wouldn't have been able to play with the national team. So I put like 2 or 3 years into the national team, and I would have felt like I was giving up on them if I were just like said,
Yeah.
okay, no, I don't want to, continue playing with the national team because we had won the qualifiers to go and play in like the Group A. So that was also kind of a factor, like helping me, I guess, decide to go back to Italy and play in Italy, and then as opposed to going to Germany and trying to play in Germany again. So
What I want to ask you, Luke, do you feel
Yep.
like that's something that happens here in Europe? Like a lot of guys, you see a lot of guys who might play in different places, but ultimately the guys who seem to have the most, I don't want to say success, but the most happiness when it comes to
Mhm.
playing in Europe are the guys who find somewhere they like and kind of stay put. Like you obviously you've had success as well in Italy, but you could easily have went to Germany just like you said, but you had got kind of ingrained in that Italian national football team and you wanted to give it that go. Do you think that's something that a lot of players kind of go through, like having to decide, do I, leave and start something new to prove what I can do, or do I, stay with this squad and, have that loyalty that I've been taught about American football?
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I think you hit the nail right on the head with the whole loyalty thing. Like it's different. You fall in love with the place, you have success playing wise, then it's like, all right, do I, get up and go and try to start something new to continue and prove that I can do something? Or do you, like you said, stay loyal to the organization that, provided you with that opportunity to, succeed? And given the fact that I had a job and as well as my girlfriend, to be honest, like, it's kind of tough to just, replace yourself and try and find somewhere, like, find a new home as opposed to just, continuing your life that you have. Like you said, being happy. And I feel like a lot of players maybe, football's a business, NFL, Europe, it's all a business in the end. Like, if guys are not performing, like they're going to get sent home, unfortunately. And like, I think that, me personally, I take my things serious. Like, I'm out here, I got to give, 110% to my team, try and be a leader on and off the field. And I feel like that when you put in, you get back what you put in. So I feel like just the whole trying to change scenery was, I mean, I would say also like with an age was a factor too, because I'm obviously 29 right now, and like things gotta start going to like more career and life after football. Yeah, long term life after football. I feel like that just to keep bouncing around at this point in my career, I felt like it wasn't really necessary. I feel like I've had some success and I feel like I'm, happy here. So I didn't want to just change like in like the back end of my career and trying something new when I knew that I like my time here in Italy. So yeah.
If I had to say it, and I've said it before, I just don't know if I've said it on this platform. If you're an import playing American football in Europe, your first 3 years, those are those years where you can change teams, maybe go somewhere else and, make as much money as you can or see as many countries as you want to. But most players who play more than like 3 seasons in Europe, they stick somewhere.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys who don't stick after 3 years, they're usually chasing ghosts. They're like trying to relive what they did in those first 3 years.
The glory days.
Oh, yeah, a lot of guys.
Yeah.
You'll see guys who, they've been playing for 8 or 9 years on 25 different teams, and you're like, yeah, there's a reason for that. But guys that you've seen that have been playing 6 or 7 years, they've been playing the last 2 or 3 on this one team. And I think something that people don't realize with this sport is that it's not an individual sport. So every time you go to a team, you give your all to that team, and then you leave, you have to start all over. And just think about American football. How many teams like to start over every year? Like, I'm just talking from just personal experience. If I was the Milano Seamen and you said that, hey, I want to come back, well, damn right I want you to come back so we can do the same offense and we can progress. as our team can get better and, 3 championships later, obviously that was a good decision. But that's the thing that happens is these teams that keep their players and bring back players on a consistent basis, they have that continuity that you need in American football. Like you look at the best league of football, the NFL, the teams that do better or consistently do better. Obviously, everybody can't be the Patriots, but you see teams that keep a roster, teams like Green Bay, Seattle, that for periods of time, they're always in the mix because they keep that roster. They keep those same players. Teams that are constantly getting rid of players, Jacksonville Jaguars, Miami Dolphins type teams. Where are they? Jacksonville, didn't they go to the playoffs like in the 90s?
Anyways, they were there like 3 years ago.
Playoffs 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Against the Pats.
Yeah.
Back when Blake Bortles was slinging the rock.
Yeah, I mean they have their ups and downs, but they're not consistent in that point. And that's
if you're always
just my point.
If you're always trying to rebuild, you're never gonna have that time to blossom and to like develop and mesh like as a team altogether. So I feel like definitely if you're with the same team, you can build the timing with the receivers, the line. You're all on the same page as opposed to, like you said, every single year changing. You got to get familiar with the whole guys, and like by the time you're actually feeling like you're not say a part of the team, but you're meshing and you're clicking. It's like already like near the end of the season, and then it's like, oh, like now I'm about to go do this all over again at a different place. So like I feel like after a certain point, you gotta just kind of like try and stick with the same team and like progress as a team because you're part of like that that bond there.
Just think about it. If you come to Europe and you're 23 years old, you played 3 seasons, you're 26, almost 27 years old, and now you go to a place, you play the whole season, and now you're 27, about to be 28 years old. Do you just, go back to that team or start all over again? And now, like you said, depending on where you are in your life, now you got bills. Like when you were 23, hey, you're fresh out of college, I might have some little student loans, but I ain't worried about that. I ain't got no wife, I ain't got no girlfriend. I'm out here. Let's live. 26, 27, I've been dating this girl for about 2 years, just bought a new car, got these bills to pay. And now teams are looking at that player as, okay, you're a 27-year-old that I have to pay for their lifestyle on a sport that doesn't pay that well. Right. So what a lot of guys do, and I think it's a monument to the sport, a lot of guys that stick it out after those first initial 3 or 4 years is, they figure out ways to increase their value outside of just playing the game. And I don't know why I'm going on this tangent, but I just felt like it needed to be said that, everybody can't be like Luke. Don't y'all think that y'all's going to just stick on a team forever? But, enjoy them first 3 years and then, come up with a plan. Then be like,
And it's crazy. And it's crazy just talking about it because it's like even like my first year with Kalanda playing for them, and afterwards it's like, yeah, it'd be cool to see what else is out there, or what other offers that or other teams I could play for, and I had some interest and stuff like that. But in the back of my head, I was like, damn, like I had a good time with Kalanda. The chemistry's already there. I don't got to start over, and this is going into my second year, and I was just like, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna excuse my language. I'm going back to the Broncos, and then ended up doing 2 seasons. Unfortunately, got hurt. Was gone for a year, but I went back for a 3rd year before obviously hanging them up. But it's just crazy when you develop that chemistry and that bond with the team and the organization, and you do right by them, and they do the same with you. It's like, for me personally, there was really no need to move on.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if you get if you find yourself with a good team like you said, the Cologne Broncos. I'm sure you guys usually a dominant team in like Switzerland, whatever, and obviously winning always helps. If you win, it's like, all right, like, do I go on and try and move and win somewhere else? It's like, then I gotta, I really like the city. One, I like the guys. They did me right. I helped them out. It's like, why change when I can just run it back? And then you do that, then you win again, and then it's like, oh, like now, like all right, that's 2, and then it's like, all right, do I go change now? It's like, I can't do that. Like I already just won 2 in a row. Like why? It doesn't make sense to try and change it.
Things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So
the crazy part is there's only so much you can control, and then yet the same situation with like import coaches, and we don't want to get too big into that, but imagine changing coaching teams and saying, okay, now I'm taking over a brand new team. I don't know. And I have 1 year to prove that, I'm worth them keeping. And I have to start from the bottom up because I have I have to do all this new stuff. So it's an interesting sport that we're all involved in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But hey, Luke, I want to ask you one more question. Since you're the mayor of Milan, and I've been to that city a couple of times. I've been to the big church and the shopping stores outside of it. If I was coming to Milan for the first time and I wanted to do or see stuff outside of the big church and we were just going around the city. Where would you go? Where would you take me?
I would take you probably to Arco.
Definitely, I get a gelato at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Gelato is a definite. But in Milan, you got the Corso Sempione, is like a long street, like a main street that brings you to like the Arc, where it's like a really nice. Then there's like the Parco Sempione. There's like a park right behind it, and then right behind the park is a castle. So you got like an Arc, a huge park, and you got the castle right behind it. So that's definitely a spot that you'd have to go to. Then there's like the Last Supper, the painting of the Last Suppers here in Milan, which is hard to get tickets to. You kind of got to book an event. So like if you wanted to go see that, which is obviously something to do, you'd have to kind of make that into an event. And then there's Navili, which is like two rivers in Milan, where there's like a bunch of bars on each side. It's like a nice spot to walk around like during the daytime and like, go check out. So I would say like those are probably the top 3 points of interest here in Milan. You got, Duomo with the Galleria, which is where like all the shops are, like the high-end stores that you were talking about. Then you got like the castle, the park, and the Arc, all like within like a 15-minute walk from each other, which is also close to the Duomo as well. And then Navili is on like the south part of Milan, which is definitely a nice spot to go check out as well. So those are probably the 3 top spots I would take you to.
Me, I'm as my co-host here. I'm not as fancy as him. I'm a poor black man out here. What can I do for free? Like where can I take somebody if I want to show them a good time, but I ain't got the the euros. I got about
I'm gonna say right there, those
10
euros
euros in my pocket.
You got 10 euros. You got 10 euros.
You got about 10 euros.
I would go to the grocery store, get a little bottle of vino, a little bit of wine.
There we go.
Get a pizza and go sit at the park, and that park I just mentioned, and go sit there and drink some wine, have some pizza, and enjoy life.
You get a pizza for like €8 out there.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's what I'm talking about.
The other 2 is up to you.
The 2 is for the wine. That's what it is. You can get good wine here for like €2-3 a bottle. So
yeah, that's okay. That works for me. I'm gonna stop there too. Have you checked out K Noah's Ready to Wear collection? It's K Noah's top-notch quality, but it's teamwear made custom for you and your team, so you can rep your squad now. That's it for us today on The Scoop, keeping the locker room real. Brought Luke Zahradka in today. Appreciate you coming in, man. Just want to tell you personally that we love watching you do what you do, man. Your career, I've been watching it pretty much since 2013, since you've been international, and I've enjoyed having these conversations with you. And just personally want to let you know that, we wish you the best on the season that you're having, but we also wish you best in your life pursuits. One thing that we're trying to do with The Scoop here is let people know that we're more than just athletes, and you're the embodiment of that. You just showed us in the conversations we had today. You've become that international, not international player, that international person. And that's great that you're doing that, man. Just glad to have you here talking to us today. Any last words you want to say, any shout outs or anything before we get out of here?
No, I just want to say, thanks for having me on. First episode, it's always an honor to be the first guest onto a different podcast. And I appreciate you and Jamal having me on here, and appreciate everything that you guys, all the compliments. And just for anyone who wants to play football in Europe, give it a go, and just enjoy every minute, because there's only so much time that you can play football. And I'll keep playing until that I feel like that I don't got something to give, and then I have to move on to the next chapter. So thanks so much, and I appreciate it.
Jamal, you got any last words, my man?
Nah, man, just wanted to say, appreciate you having Noah. I know, we met a couple years ago, and just to see you still out there, still doing your thing, man. It's exciting, and exciting to be on the other side watching, and we appreciate you. I'm sure it's not gonna be the last time we talk, we chatted up.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure that soon enough I'll be back on the side of you guys too. So
All right, guys. Thanks for watching the show on YouTube or listening to it on the podcast outlet. There's like 2,500 of those you can listen to it on. Be sure to subscribe to Athletes Forum YouTube channel or American Football in Finland's podcast channel to catch the scoop each week in both video and audio format. You can also follow us on Twitter at The Scoop AF or on Instagram at Athletes Forum or on Facebook at Athletes Forum. Also, don't forget to read the description below where you'll have a chance to win K Noah Teamwear swag provided by, K Noah, the best of the best out here. Be sure to follow the instructions on the bottom of the screen or read the instructions for the podcast channels. All right. We'll see you next week.